What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
Meredith knows what she's talking about. For 20 years she's been living and learning about these long-eared creatures.
I've been acquainted with Meredith's talents for many years, and she really can do what she says she can do.
She's learned a successful way to train long ears to do anything she wants them to do. She's active in showing and training of the animals, and she knows exactly how to describe what it is that you need to do to correct a fault, to solve a problem if you have one with a mule.
That's true. She's accumulated a good deal of wide experience, which is a great help to people who need to know these things.
One of the greatest assets is to be able to call somebody and say, what can I do to be a better trainer, to be a better rider, to work with my animal better? And I can think of no one better to answer that question than Meredith.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half. In this program, we will introduce you to imprinting, haltering, tying, and leading. Whether your equine is a foal or an older animal that you have just acquired, these beginning steps are important to begin to cultivate a good working relationship with your equine.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
Today we'll cover the differences between horses and mules and the basics for training your mule foal. First, let's clarify just what a mule is. The offspring of a male donkey called a jack and a female horse called a mare is called a mule. A horse has 64 chromosomes and a donkey has 62. The mule ends up with 63. Mules can either be male or female, but because of the odd number of chromosomes, they cannot reproduce. Still, a male mule needs to be gelded to be a safe, sociable animal. Other than the long ears, mules look very similar to horses. But their muscle composition is different. Mules have more smooth muscle. It's similar to comparing the muscle build of a football player to that of a ballerina. Both are very strong, but the mule has greater physical strength for his size and more endurance than the horse. A mule gets his athletic ability from the horse and his strength and intelligence from the donkey. Donkeys and mules have been labeled stubborn for centuries, but it's really only an abundance of common sense and a strong desire for self-preservation. And yet, they have a natural attraction to humans, and when treated with patience, kindness, and understanding, they learn to trust and obey. If they are treated with pain and abuse, they are not likely to comply with your wishes. Horses can be mastered and controlled fairly easily. Donkeys can be coerced, but not necessarily controlled. The mule falls somewhere in between, so you have to consider both horse and donkey psychology when training a mule. There's actually very little difference in technique when training horses and mules. The keys are patience, understanding, and a good reward system. There's a big difference, though, between mules and horses when it comes to negative reinforcement or punishment. A mule will not tolerate negative reinforcement or punishment unless he is fully aware that the fault is his and the punishment is fair. In a moment, we'll begin our lessons from the very beginning, the mule foal. But first, let me talk a little about what you need to do before your mule foal is even born. You need to know that there's a condition that can occur when you breed a mare to a jack. It's called neonatal isoerythrolysis, or NI for short. NI is a very complex biological puzzle that can threaten the life of your mule foal before it's even born. It's similar to a problem human babies have called Rh incompatibility, and it's becoming more and more common. When a newborn foal nurses its mother for the first time, the mare produces a special milk called colostrum, which is usually full of special vitamins and immunity builders for the newborn. But with an NI foal, that colostrum can be deadly because it's full of incompatible antibodies. Within a day or so, the NI foal will weaken and die. So what can you do to prevent this tragedy? Well, 3 things. First is to have your vet draw blood from the mare and jack to test for the possibility of incompatibility. Second, have your mares tested both 60 and 30 days from gestation. And third, prevent every positive tested mule foal from nursing its dam for the first 36 hours. You can do this by making a muzzle to put on the foal at birth and keep it in a safe stall for 24 hours. Then you can bottle feed the baby safely with tested colostrum from another mare who has no antibodies and is compatible with the foal. This may seem like a lot of trouble to go to, but it's worth the effort knowing you have saved your foal's life. NI is covered in detail in your workbook, so check it out. Handling the foal the minute it's born is a wonderful way to bond with humans, and it certainly lays a foundation for the trust and training to follow. This is called imprinting. Raising your mule or donkey foal can be very easy if you just remember a few simple points. First, the foal learns a lot from its mother, so be careful when you select a mare for breeding. A nice, calm mare sets the example for a nice, calm baby. Second, mule foals are not much different from human babies in their emotional needs. They want attention, love, guidance, and praise to become loving, cooperative adults. Once you get to know them, you can just imagine what they must be thinking.
Gee whiz, you may not be able to hear what I'm thinking, but I've sure got plenty to say. Meredith is right on about treating me with patience and kindness. I'm like any little kid. Take your time and show me what you want, and I'll be your best buddy. But if you hurt me, or we get into a fight, you'll see why they say stubborn as a mule.
But like all children, a young mule doesn't know when he's playing too rough or doing something unacceptable like nipping or rearing up. Then you must teach him discipline by a firm slap and by saying no in a firm voice. Remember, these are babies. If you expect too much too soon, the foal becomes overwhelmed, frustrated, and confused and won't learn. Keep thinking of your foal as a human baby. You are establishing lifestyles and attitudes now. You are creating an atmosphere to give a foal a sense of security and trust in you so he can grow to be a secure and dependable adult. Feeding time is the perfect time to scratch and pet your baby and get him used to being handled. You can do this without a halter. You don't want him to become frightened. Soon he will learn he likes being with you. You know, imprinting is a real buzzword these days. Now, the foal we're using in this video is a little older, but he was handled like this from the day he was born. When you handle your baby like this, you're imprinting. We'll be back in a minute to learn more about haltering your foal.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long Years Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long years art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. Whether you have a foal, yearling, or adult equine, imprinting is a fundamental activity that determines your equine's behavior and will stay with him for as long as he lives. Imprinting is more than just getting your foal used to being touched when he is first born. It is the process of getting him used to your touch, your voice, your smell, and especially how you're going to handle him throughout his entire life. Imprinting is also critical to the safety of your animal and anyone handling him, including you, your veterinarian, judges, and anyone else who may come in contact with your equine. While using your voice to soothe and reassure him, gently touch your animal all over. Start with his head, paying special attention to his ears, mouth, and around the eyes. Then move down his neck and over his body and down his legs. The slow and gentle touching and stroking with your hands will reveal which parts of his body are most sensitive, teaching you where you can apply more pressure and where you need to lighten up. When you learn how he likes to be touched, he learns that your touch is a pleasurable experience. Imprinting lays an important foundation of trust for the training that will follow. It helps your equine make the transition into the grooming process, and it is an ongoing, lifelong way of keeping your equine comfortable with you. When done correctly, imprinting will yield amazingly positive results during training.
Here's an engineer. How did you know that? So we go see a huge mule. Because this head, you're fine. Stroke with the head, that's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys, let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch. I get a lot of letters and emails from people with training and behavior questions about their equines. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning with a series of training tips that work for all equines. What's wrong with this picture? Every year, countless equines are injured, traumatized, disfigured, paralyzed, and even killed because they're left unsupervised while still wearing their halters. Many equine owners believe that catching an equine is much easier if you just leave the halter on. This may seem true, but if they don't want to be caught, having a halter on won't make a difference. If your equine has a routine he can count on, he will learn to come to you when you call, either at home or on the trail, and you will have a happy and positive relationship with each other. Remember, there is never a reason to leave your animal unattended with its halter on. So do yourself and your equine a huge favor and use your lead line training time to teach the command to come. It's the responsible thing to do, and it may just save a life.
Hi, I'm Russ Wallace. I work for the railroad here in northern Wyoming as a locomotive engineer. And my wife and I raise donkeys and mules for pleasure, for hobby. Came across Meredith's tapes, Meredith Hodges' tapes, and they're just excellent. I can't recommend them enough to anybody. We bought this series, we came across it, we waited 4 months while they were in production. We were so excited about it. The thing that sold us on Meredith's tape series 2 is the fact that it's not a seminar. I can review these videos anytime I want, as often as I want, and with each video is a workbook and a field cart. It is unique that you can use these to train horses, and in the tapes, Meredith will cue you anytime a certain technique won't work with a horse.
Mules and donkeys are working their way into the hearts of millions of people all over the world. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, call our toll-free number at 1-800-816-7566.
Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse. They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. The mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa. I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing. And when you come to visit the Lucky Three, it's just an added bonus.
Mule people, you reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys, he was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm. He thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long ears art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
After you've handled your foal a lot, the next step will be fairly easy. Feeding time is the perfect time to try the halter on for the first time. There's a safe and effective way to catch your foal. Don't just try to grab him around the neck. He will only struggle and become afraid. It's much easier to halter break your foal if he knows he can trust you. Ease up to him, pet him on the neck with your left hand, stand on the near side while stroking him across the back and over his rump. When you reach his tail, bring your left arm up under his throat latch, lift up, cradling his neck in your elbow joint. Then gently take hold of his tail with your right hand and pull it up at the same time. He should calm down very quickly. Be careful not to hold too tight. Now you can back him into a wall so you can free your right hand and finish putting on the halter. If he turns his nose away, use your left arm over the nose and the elbow joint. This frees your right hand to grab the halter, bring it into position, and slide it on easily. By using this method, we have avoided resistance and maintained the foal's trust. Take the time to get your baby used to you putting on the halter and wearing it for short periods of time. Just remember not to leave the halter on the baby without supervision. A halter can be very dangerous. Once your baby is used to the halter, he's ready to learn to be tied. When your foal is ready to learn about being tied, make sure you're in an enclosed arena or pen. With Mom close by, put on the familiar halter. Then attach a thick cotton lead rope and tie him to a stout hitching post with a safety knot.
Mom, what are they doing to me?
It may take the foal a minute to figure all this out, and he may struggle a bit. But as long as he isn't going to injure himself, he's all right. He's learning to stay cool.
Well, I guess this isn't so bad after all.
Now, don't try this with the horse foal. They have an entirely different reaction to restraints and can seriously injure themselves. The first tie lesson should only last about a half an hour. Every 10 minutes, walk up and wait for him to slacken the rope before you release him. Repeat this for as many days as it takes before he doesn't pull back. Once he stands quietly, you can begin using a soft brush on his body and begin picking up his feet while tied.
Hey, this actually feels pretty good. Can you scratch my head a little?
Be patient and take all the time you need. You're not only teaching him to be handled, you're teaching him that humans can be trusted. If he trusts you and you take the time to do this right, he will always be easier to handle later when clipping, vetting, shoeing, and even under stress. The next thing your mule must learn is to follow you. Untie your foal and ask him to follow you. If he refuses, just tie him up again. Wait another 10 minutes, untie him, and ask him again to follow. When he follows for a few steps, praise him a lot and play for a while so he knows he's doing good. You don't have to jerk and pull. You don't have to hit his rump. You just have to work with him and reward him when he does what you want.
What a nice lady.
When you walk, ask him to walk. When you stop, ask him to whoa. Before you know it, you're ready to go exploring. When your foal leads fairly well, you can take him into a larger area. And a larger space can affect his behavior. Now we're ready to add the game of obstacles. Take your foal with you every chance you get to discover things together on the lead line. Let him know everything is okay and that you will protect him if necessary. Put yourself between the obstacle and the mule if he becomes frightened. Let him have plenty of time to investigate the obstacle. Encourage him to come forward and praise him when he touches the obstacle with his nose. Teach him to trust your judgment as a baby, and he will as an adult.
What on earth is this? I don't think so. Okay, so maybe I'll try it just this once.
to join us next week when we'll learn even more about the mule foal.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Each video comes with a workbook and laminated field cards. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children? Grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house by a lazy river. Songbirds singing to me like slow